Rick, how's it going, mate? Welcome back.
I've just raced back to do this because I was just at the Mission Impossible 8 and I was telling Toby I was going. He goes, yeah, he likes him. He said, he reminds me of the Kung. And I thought, yeah, I tried to look at the correlation between a Kung and that, but it was good. It was an excellent film. I mean, the money's on the screen with old Tom, I did enjoy it.
Is this... Oh, it's IMAX, eh? So this ain't no red carpet business, though. It's just a normal. You
No,
just
this
want to
is
see
me, popcorn, and on my own, in a seat. Just, yeah.
On your own.
I wasn't even recognised. You know what I mean? Got to say, "Welcome, Mr. Baker." Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, but that's what. Sometimes that's what you want, isn't it? I guess you was wearing your cap.
Yeah, you want to just be like a normal person for the day.
Yeah. Sometimes that's what's needed, right? Or is it one of those special cinemas where they're used to having the celebs there? So they I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, they know you're going to crop. You and all the other stars were there.
It's in North Wales. I don't know if they're used to that sort of exposure.
Oh, okay. All right. Look, listen. Today we're going to have a chat about the Kung Fu Café, but before we do, the timing.
It's a bit dark in it.
It is a little bit dark, yeah. I mean, for me, it's absolutely bright as anything, but yours is definitely a bit dark.
There you go.
And I want to see your lovely face, of course. There he is. Right, that's better.
That's the eye candy. That's the money shot.
Of course, yeah, exactly. We don't want to be hiding that. Look, like I said, we're going to chat about Kung Fu Cafe, and that's coming up. But I can't help it. I've got you here, and it's just happened Tuesday gone, and you're losing me here. What are we on? Sunday, right? So it ain't that long ago, and I've already done a video where I was chatting to Rodney about this whole Jackie Chan Karate Kids Legend business. So I just want to talk to you about it a little bit. We don't want to go mad because we're here for a reason, but I can't help it. The timing is just too good. What the hell is going on with this Jackie Chan, Machio, Ben Wang business that's just happened? What happened there?
The funny thing is, I was at the Comic Con with the other week when Ralph was there signing. And I believe somebody messaged me and said you couldn't really say too much to them. It's a real, like a production line, That's what your £200 goes down to. Two people go. I didn't have my photograph done, but there was somebody and asked Ralph in a moment, was him and Jackie doing any promotion for Karate Kid Legends? And he said no. And I think there's been some other screenings in Europe, I'm not too sure, where Jackie hasn't turned up. So it was going to be like that now. Some clever person the night before was watching the one show. And at the end they said, well, tomorrow night, join us tomorrow night because we've got Jackie Chan on the thing. And then somebody goes, Jackie's in London. He's doing the one show live. Must be in for Cobra Kai. Where's Cobra Kai doing a screening? So it was all done. And if you looked at the crowd, it was a lot of Cobra. It wasn't really a Jackie-based turnout.
I know.
Now, had I known a few days before, I'd have called Brett Ratner. Said, Brett, Jackie's in town. I've never given him that issue with on Jackie. Can you give him a call, find out where he is? Maybe he can see us for 10 or 15 minutes. And I'd have picked a few select friends. If I'd have got it and said, like when I went to see Donnie in his hotel, I'd have picked a few select friends and said, I'm going to see Jackie. You've got to keep it calm. But Brett's called him. Jackie's replied, sure. You know what I mean? And I could have sorted that out. Didn't know nothing about it. Donnie Yen on the same week. I wonder if they met up Jackie and Donnie because Donnie was there doing his for the ballerina film.
Yeah.
And even though he's not in it, I think he's just promoting the John Wick franchise, because he's directing a series. So it was there. I felt gutted for Paul, the one person in the world who wanted to meet Jackie. And so I look. And
only one. What about we not feeling gutted for me? I was there as well.
Paul's on a different level. You know what I mean?
No. You know what? Listen. No, because the thing is, I was there with Rodney and Tarek, right? I was crying about it as well, and then Paul turns up, and he's. I mean, I don't know what he feels like now. Because he said, I saw a message on Facebook just a little while ago saying, on reflection, he's got the ump about it. But he was like, we still got something internally. I was like, Didn't. Got the back of his head through the glass.
Yeah.
Got him waving through the glass. Crap.
Listen, you realise, you know, imagine you're a young kid and the neighbour that you're a young teenager, but the neighbour next door is gorgeous. She's an older woman. And one night you're going to bed, and for some reason her curtains are slightly open and she gets undressed. And you don't see everything, but you see the back of her. To that kid, he's got material to work with in his head when he goes to bed. Now,
Right.
now with Paul, he's seen the back of Jackie's head.
Yeah.
For some people, that's nothing. But when you've waited that long, you've got to think to yourself, so close, so far. But I was within 100 yards of Jackie. I saw his head. Maybe this is a sign that in the near future, I'll get the full front of Jackie.
Well, that's the problem. It's so close. Look, we had all that. You're right about the, what do we call it? There's sort of leave a bit to the imagination. Not with Chan, but with the other stuff, you're right? Because if you remember in the magazines back in the days, the pictures were good. You know what mags I'm talking about, right? The pictures were good, but the stories were better, weren't they? Once you got over the pictures, you were like, now you went to the stories, and the stories were those stories about a quarrel neighbour next door and the curtains open, and you know what I mean?
I don't think Jackie was doing much of a publicity thing here. I think he probably did and he's got to do something, and so, and I think, you know, I like I said, whether it was a last minute thing for Jackie or come in, you know, for some reason,
Right.
because he was doing something. But I felt for Paul because coming back a few years ago, we were all going to see Jackie Chan's book signing at Waterstones or something. Paul was in a high spirits, and we were there. And then just at the last moment, Jackie decides to press the kill switch. You know, so he's been so close. You know what I mean? What we're saying is, despite the whole collecting, the obsession with Jackie, he still hasn't popped his cherry. You know, it's like a love affair, unrequited love. I would say unrequited love, and he said to me, but he was buzzing from it, and I thought, well, you know, so I rise him above. You know, Rodney probably, but Rodney's Shaw's man. You know what I mean? They're not on the same. We like a lot of different things. Paul is pure.
That is true. We do like a lot of different things, but this is the bloke that made me like a lot of different things. You know, that was the first thing. I'd seen Bruce before, loved it, loved Bruce Lee. They were before the Chan, but it was Snake and Eagle Shadow that made me branch out and go, now I want to watch everything, you know. So I'm done by Chan. I'm not going to try and compete with Dre and go who likes him the most, but I'm telling you now, right, I've made a whole vid on it because I'm annoyed about it.
You did with very little material. You padded that out like a C-class director thought they've got the littlest bit and they've made a whole story around it. You know what I mean? God knows what would have happened if Jackie had come out and waved their hands. It would have been like a season of episodes.
Well, yeah. Well, we wouldn't have needed a video if that had happened. This was based on the fact that of what did happen. It was the story because no one knew about it. So we got down there, obviously, for the one show bit. Tarek got down a bit earlier, the Trafalgar Square bit. But I'm telling you now, that was the frustrating bit, that he was there and you couldn't do anything about it. He came to the window, the glass, and he waved. And about 2 meters to his left, yes.
I didn't see that on the camera.
Don't worry, it's on my vid, mate. Don't worry, right? They said, yeah, you said that I padded it out. Yeah, with what? Waving through the glass. Vid, I've got vid because I took a vid of that.
Was Paul there when he waved through the glass?
Yeah, he definitely was. I mean, I don't know why he's just back of the head.
Back of the head. He said, I only saw back of Jackie's head. So I believe by the evidence in front of me that Paul wasn't as lucky as you and got the wave. That would have done him.
Lucky.
That would have done him. He'd have been on the floor needing beta blockers.
Well, look, I was done, but it was worse because 2 meters to his left was an open door. All he had to do, all right, don't come out. Don't take photos. Don't do signings. Fine. But at least come out and stand at the doorway and go, hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. Please enjoy Karate Kid Legends. Do something. I mean, he did. He waved through the glass, right? If I was there for Ben Wang, would have been even worse. He did nothing. And yet, why is he doing nothing? Macho, he did nothing either. So Chan, out of the three, did the best, but it was just...
Do you think it would have been good if Jackie come to the window and suddenly pulled a shape? That would have done you, wouldn't it?
100%.
You know, like
it'd have been over. It would have been over. Listen.
You'd have dropped the camera.
It would have been over. We had the phones out. running out of battery, scared to shut them, because if you close it, you're going to fumble when you try and open it. It was all going wrong. I had a couple of things I wanted signed. They were in my hand. They were getting dirt and greasy. And I was thinking, just put them in your bag. And so I can't because he might come out. And I used all that time to go and talk. So most of those people, there wasn't even that many people there. I counted. At the most, there was 50. It was under 50, I would say. But at its height,
It looked like less than me, 35 or so. I'd have gone maybe to 35, unless there was some off screen.
Yeah. Listen, it was weed amount, right? And not only that, it wasn't in a massive public place. It was in the BBC bit. Yes, it's a public place and you are allowed in there, but it's not like it was on Oxford Street. Because Ben Lewis bloke, he said to me, if Chan had come out, then it would have gone mad. And he sent me a clip of Chan in Times Square with everyone going mad. I went, no, that's Times Square. That's a massive public place on the street.
It's not like Chan's not used to a mob around him. That's his life for the last 50 years. He's not,
right.
He knows how to do it. He has, when he's filming, there's always people around him. It's not an issue, really.
No.
He's not as lucky as Toby when he came in to do, was it Rumble? And Toby went and had breakfast with him. He got with Samo. I mean, that would have been, Toby, luck of the things. I said to Toby this morning, I said, did you know? He said, you didn't know. He said, I wasn't going to go down. I'm not going down for the back of the head. I mean, Toby's met Jackie in so many times. You know what I mean? Had it been like when me and Toby went to see Donnie Yen and we managed to get in to the hotel room with a camera, different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But this, listen, you took a chance. You got to be in it to win it. You took a chance, and it could have gone one way or the other.
Yeah.
He turned around and waved.
I don't regret trying. We had to try. There was no way I wasn't going to.
Yeah, hardened fans are like you say back in the day. It's that impulse. You've got to do it. Sometimes it works out for you. That moment, you think, God, I've turned up now. But you've got to know that it doesn't always work out. But I do think if I could have just known 48 hours earlier, I would have called Brett. Brett would have called.
That would have been amazing.
Find out where he was. I know where Donnie's staying.
All right, we'll talk about that off camera.
Gone now, but I know where he was staying.
I'm chatting. Yeah, go on. Sorry,
Jackie. I reckon Jackie would have been on a whistle stop tour. I'll tell you something. What he would have done, he would have gone to the restaurant in Chinatown afterwards. He's a restaurant he liked in China. Yeah, I'm sure he'd have gone down there. Yeah, but he'd have gone upstairs. Look, when I took Chow and Fat down there, we got let. I think Chow Chesney. We got took upstairs. Whenever you go into a Chinese restaurant, there's a certain level of food. You go with a film star like Chow and Fat, they're bringing in like carved swans of ice. And, the worst thing is I wasn't that hungry. And Chow said, eat. And I said, you know what I mean? And we were laughing and they were bringing this food that wasn't even on the menu. You know what I mean? It was like a banquet. And I saw out the window the people gathering because me and Chow and Toby had walked through Chinatown, which his wife didn't want to do, but Chow said, come on. And we walked down from the car park and the word must have spread. And within, by the time we were sitting down, and Chow said, what should I do? I said, well, I don't think, because his wife said to me that they didn't want to participate in this. She didn't want him to go downstairs because when he was filming, was it Autumn's Tale with Cherry Chung?
Oh yeah.
They come up to him. At that stage, it was like the young pretend triads wanted to come up, and if they could do something or slap Chow or do something to him, it was like a badge of honor. So he got hassled on that set, as because he'd sort of created this new wave of for the triads. Yeah. So I said, look, Chow, I said, look, I'll come down with you. We should at least go and wave. I don't see any problem. We took Jet Li to Sagata's Travel. Yeah, that was fine. Round the corner, that was a.
Where is it? Where is it? Sagata's Travel. What's that?
They're gone now. This was next to Shaolin Way.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
We got there. All I could see was a sea of girls. I said, we did what? That was a good call for me. I said, just got a sea of women. I said, it's like looking at the Naked Gun poster 50 times. And that was great. You know what I mean? I put my arm.
That's
around
gone
Jet.
now, is it?
Well, yeah. I put my arm around Jet, hoping that they might think, that by being nice to me, they get to Jet, So, my mate.
Did it work?
Absolutely not. No, you know what I mean.
Oh.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jet was not a good wingman. Not a good.
I'm pretty surprised, but yeah. All right, now we know, right?
He could have gone out. He could have given me some, bit of a push, but didn't want to do that. So yeah, so that's it. So Jackie came. He come in. I admire the people that go out like chasing a tornado or a hurricane. You know what I mean? Go out, what you're going to see. There's Jackie. Paul said he was buzzing.
Well, good for him. Yeah. I was buzzing, but in a different way. I dealt with it.
When you're on that level of dedication, when you're on that level of a fan, it's like the girls who used to cry watching the Beatles. When you're that level of fan, just to see him without looking through a lens, like looking through a TV screen or on a DVD, it's something. 30 years ago, 40 years ago, when Police Story come out and Jackie had come and we'd have seen that, we'd have been fucking over the moon.
Look, listen, I understand the principle of what you're saying. I'm with you, right? So what Tariq got earlier in that Trafalgar Square bit, where he did see the actual bloke in the flesh and he was there, that I could have handled. But this was annoying. It was all through glass.
Did Tariq step on it by mistake? Did he go knowing that Jackie was there?
No, he went knowing. He knew by that time. He knew.
Why did he put the word out?
Well, he did to a few people. Dre lives far away. I got on the train, but didn't make it.
On Facebook, and let's make a crowd of it. Tariq.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah,
keeping it to yourself.
Maybe that was by design, huh? Who knows?
Yeah, but the fact is there weren't enough Jackie fans there. And look, even if he put it on Facebook, most people are working. He would have only got a handful, but for most people, it was too short notice.
It was too short notice because it was on the actual day, so it was way too short notice. It weren't good. Look, the fans thing, I had plenty of time, right? Because we was 2.5, 3 hours waiting. I had no problem with that. I just spoke to all these guys. And, yeah, they weren't. I don't want to be nasty.
Did you have a Jackie T-shirt on?
Yes.
Because that's how Toby saw Jackie with Wayne Archer the first time. I think Jackie was in his Mitsubishi. Toby had made these T-shirts up. And Jackie backed up and saw this. We're talking back in the 80s, probably Charlene Woodman days, for all I know. Jackie was like two guilos with a Jackie T-shirt on. That worked.
Well, yeah. Res. It's res.
I was really gutted that there was that could have been done. If we'd have known a few days before, could have gone down. Honestly, I'm the guy you would wanted to have been with because I'd have made a call. And because Jackie just recently signed a couple of books for me, to the Essential Guide. Yeah, Brett's got a direct line to him.
Brilliant.
And I could have said, I would have looked at the few people and said, "What can you give me? What you want to meet Jackie? What you offering? What you offering? The three biggest spenders, the three who put money in my hand." I said, "You're going to meet Jackie."
Oh, mate! Oh, brilliant! Absolute classic Baker. I love it. No disappointment there, mate. The best.
Listen, monopolize on the moment. Paul would probably give me 500 quid if I could have got him a handshake and a selfie.
He tried those methods. What you said, he didn't do the T-shirt move, but he tried. He brought some pandas with him, hoping that Chan would at least see those and then go, "Oh no, pandas!" But
no, he did the wrong move. Did the wrong move. Tonfa.
Yeah, spear and tonfa and swords. Yeah.
Tonfa or a workbench, the bench. That'd have done him. Horse stance with 2 cups, and all you lot behind him doing like shapes array.
Yeah, maybe that would have got him out. Yeah.
No, honestly, you weren't creative enough.
These people, though, right? They were giving it a chat. I thought they were Chan blokes. Every time I went and spoke to one, I said, "All right, who are you here for?" Because there was 3 people, so I'd ask them, and almost a lot of them did say, all of them, but most of them did say Jackie Chan. And looking at their age, they were a lot younger. So then I'd say, "Well, what's your favourite Chan film?" And listen, there's no disrespect here because I do appreciate that he. Look, he transcends generations. We know this, right? Each person has their own identity with Chan, what got him into the films. And I know that from doing this, through speaking to people. You know, they say to me, Shanghai Noon, no, blimey. You know, and I'm surprised when it's films like that, because to me, they're not Chan films, they're Hollywood Chans.
What if somebody could have said Police Story? He's a cabbie driver, you know what I mean? Police, Magnificent Bodyguards.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you some of them. You know what? I'm not going to tell you all of them, right? Because they're on the vid, and a lot of these people, I hopefully, will have seen that vid. But let me tell you a couple of the classics, right? What's your favorite? Who are you here for? This is my favorite one. I'm here for Jackie Chan, the master, the legend. Oh, right. What's your favorite Chan film? The one with Chris Tucker.
I don't even give a title.
No exactly, no title. And then he said the next one was, and the one where they look after the baby. So another one with no title. Legend, master, I'm here for Chan, Chan only. You know what I mean? This is what I was having to put up with. But anyway.
I'll tell you something. The future of Chan's fans, like the Bruce Lee fans, it's in worry, it's in jeopardy. You got to be thankful that some of his old school still about. You know what I mean?
I like that. That's perfect. That's perfect. In jeopardy. And you know what? That is what I found out. It took me a while to figure it out, because I was confused, right? I was there, as Rodney was saying, he was panicking. I was all excited. We're all ready to go. I think all these people are the same, but they just go to all of these things. It doesn't matter who is there. They have a pad that they just get things signed. You know, they're not bothered. They just meet and have selfies and get signatures of celebrities.
I saw somebody, whether it was real or they'd faked it, but they got a Karate Kid poster or legend of the Karate Kid with the 3 signatures on, like going for like 300 quid on eBay. So somebody went down there for the financial gain.
100%. One of the blokes I was next to, because I kept moving down the crowd and doing chats, I said, what are you getting signed there? And he picked up the Karate Kid legend stuff. He said, I've got this person's signature, that person, I'm just missing this one. So I'm waiting to just fill this up or whatever. But once they started telling me about Keanu Reeves, and in 2 days' time, there's a premiere. Not that I knew it was Ballerina, I do now. And Brad Pitt and F1. Once you had 2 or 3 people telling you the same thing, you started to paint a picture and go, all right, you guys ain't here for Chan. You're just here for celebrities.
You can go to most theatres or most things into the guests, and there's what they call the backdoor autograph hunters. And they just want to fill a book up. They're not specifically like there because this is their idol. I'm sure there is some people they prefer, but they're there primarily because they become like train spotting. It's just what numbers on the carriage. So this is, I've got him. And some people go there because they're professional autograph sellers. You know, I know a couple of people do it, get 4 or 5, and then they go back and they mount them up. And so it's a living for them.
Yeah, but they're the ones getting the autographs, right? They're the ones getting the selfies. One of the blokes I was chatting to, who was a bit annoying because he was pushing in and being a bit crap, this guy, he, you know, selfies with Chan at Trafalgar Square. They've done it. They've already got pictures. One of the blokes next to me, he was complaining, saying, I bet he don't come out. But he's quite a nice bloke. If he does come out, he will take pictures. How do you know that? Well, because I got one this morning.
They're professionals, mate. You're not in their league.
Well, that's true. And they all knew each other.
They've come down from up north. They're in London by 6 o'clock. And they're looking.
They know.
They've done the internet search. They know the best spots. Yeah, they're professionals. They might look like a nerd, but you know something.
Yes.
You know something.
You are right there.
I looked at you, bunch of thought amateurs.
Yeah, well, it's true, and you are right. In that environment, we were the amateurs, because once I started chatting to him and I started to understand what was going on, they were telling me, "Oh, that bloke, he's at all of them. Yeah, he's at all of them. He's quiet. He's this. He's that." They all knew each other. They all knew. They weren't mates, but they all knew each other because they all turn up to these things. All of them. They didn't care
on the circuit. They're all regular on the circuit.
On the circuit. You know what? You're right.
I've seen it many times. You know, and these people, even some of the people in the groups out there, you know, they don't just stop at Jackie or anything. You know, they branch out. You know, it's an addiction. It's great to show your mates. Because they're around the group afterwards, they're showing who got the. You don't know about this. Who got the cleanest autograph? Now, autographs are great. Some people just scribble, but sometimes if you got them in the right place, they'll do like, oh, that's a 10 out of 10. Look at that. Yeah, look at that. And so you can sell an
Right.
autograph on the clarity. It's like with
Okay.
Jackie. You get Jackie doing one personally. There's two ways of doing it. When you're doing autographs, there's the speed one going along. You know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah.
that. Like when we've had Wong in sick or anybody come, you know, or there's when it's just like a bit slower, they get that. They might get the Chinese bit or whatever it is. So people look and think,
Clean.
look at that clean autograph. You know what I mean? That was done with thought. Like if you go to a book signing, they're a lot better because you've come with a book, they have a few words with you, and they do a nice signature.
True. Franco Nero, right? He was watching Django at the cinema, and there was an event going on there. So I watched that. He was right in front of me. That was brilliant. And I bought his Western book, Euro Westerns, and he signed that. And you're right, because there was time. It was Franco Nero, and he drew a cowboy.
Yeah. And who's it to? Who's it to? You know what I mean? And some say don't name it. Why? Because I'm selling it later.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Devalued. So yeah, it's there's a culture within that, and like you say, some of them want the clean. It's like a grading, you know what I mean? Have you got one hanging over the barrier? Yeah, Jackie. Or have you got one? Oh, Jack. Hello, yeah. That's yeah. And you know, you put the two together, and this one looks like a forge. This one, you think that's going on the wall. That's look at that. I can see the, you know,
proper.
There's all the lines flow. There's been no like stopping and the black things. You know, it's the way. I've never done it myself. Really, I should have done so many autographs, and so now I regret it because I see how much they sell for.
You would have been the version of who's it to? Yeah, don't worry about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you just do another one? My mum, she's ill. She loves you. You know what I mean? You know, and me, you know what I mean? Just quickly. When we went to see Donnie Yen, they said no autographs. You asked Toby. I had Kung Fu Bob did a couple of posters, drew. And me and Donnie have obviously got some history between us. Not all good. You know,
all right. Well, that's honest. Yeah.
Good. And so you see me coming, he's nodding. I'm nodding. I thought, all right, you know. I thought, well, you know, it's been a long time since we went had an argument, stand-up argument with each other.
Yeah.
And he said, I've got to go now. And Toby said to me, he saw me, there's a picture. And this guy said, Donnie, just before you go, and I ripped this poster open and I said, here's the pen. I said, there's a couple of people who love you. And he goes, all right. And Toby looks like that. I've got three done. Nobody else did one. But I just went. And it was a nice poster, you know what I mean? Like that. It was a bit like, I think, when Raymond Farrell showed him when he was doing signs at the Comic Con, and of all the posters he took, it was what's that awful one of his? He directed.
Oh, hang on. Well, he's done a couple.
That's what I mean, Donnie. I ended up shouting because I said the film was no good. And
Shanghai Affairs he directed, didn't he?
No. There's the one he did. It's a bit art housey. God, people will be shouting at the screen.
Ballistic Kiss.
Terrible.
It's brilliant. I mean.
And Donnie was he stopped Donnie, and that bought him time with Donnie because he didn't expect that poster to land on his thing. Yeah, I was one of the first people to see that film, and he wanted my opinion. And I said,
not that bad.
And you know what I said to him? He wouldn't understand it. He said, do you want to buy this for England? I said, I couldn't sell 3 bits. And what's that mean? 3 bits, you know what I mean? And that's the lingo back in the day, you know. If you've got
of course, that's right.
We're only going to sell a film if we do 3 bits or more. It's not worth duplicating it. That was built with 3 bits.
So that's what he took. Respect, though, because Yen would have gone, oh, yeah, that's the film I directed. Now, that film, all right, it's crap for the time. I mean, we're not going to chat about Ballistic Kiss, but it is crap for the time because at the time it was Donnie was power, right? I mean, he was doing wicked stuff, and then that came out. I was like, what's happened? But I watched it not that long ago, rewatched it, and I was like, it's all right.
I did a review for the book, and I had to say I gave it a bit more of I was a bit more. Back in those days, I was thinking money. You know, I'm not going to pay $10,000 for this film. I'm not going to pay $10,000 for this film. You know,
right.
But I was thinking, if you gave me a time code, could I sell a few bits in the marketplace? You know, and I just took the decision, no, 3 bits, couldn't do it. People just, you know, speed it up and this, you know. I've changed my opinion between life. Anyway, let's talk about the main subject, as we'll just be still.
Agreed. Well, listen, thanks for your input there. It's a little bit, I don't know, that you only feel sorry for Dre, but all right, whatever, I'll take it. Like you say, there's levels to this game.
I know. I'm just saying it's a great thing, but I just think to him, it meant more than it did to any of you lot.
Well, how do you know that? What? Because he buys more stuff?
I know. Listen.
No, you don't. No.
I'll walk into your bedroom. I'm not going to say it wall to toe, 14 foot down, smothered with Jackie and nothing else. You're going to go in his.
I grew up with that. There was no space. My ceiling, the door, all my bedroom was covered in Chan stuff.
Back in the day.
No, wait. No, hang on. Right. I'm not trying to compete with a bloke, right? But just because he's got more stuff, that don't mean he likes him more than me, or it means more to him. I'm not suggesting it means more to me than him, but you're telling me it means more to him than it does me.
It's Jackie and Chan. There's a lot of people who call this people Brandon. You know what I mean? After Bruce Lee. No. I know but we have a different affection for him. We're not the memorabilia hunters. That's what I feel. You know what I mean?
Well, that's true.
Yeah. We've been out there a lot longer.
You are right. I'm not a memorabilia hunter. You're right. Yeah.
We'd have probably get the same attention if it was Wong. If it was, we'd have probably, if it's a kung fu style that we like, we would have probably been just as enthusiastic.
It's true. I'd have been panicking just as much. It's true. Yeah.
Billy Chong's here. Wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd have been crying about that as well. Chan is a bit. Look, Chan's the one. Look, that one just needs to happen. That's all there is to it. That needs to happen. It's been too long.
No, you were there for all different reasons. You was there because of your love of Chan, but Paul has a different affair with him in his head. He's very close to Jackie. We like a Shaw's, we like an Independent, we like a lot of things. So we would probably give the same attention for me, I've met Jackie quite a few times, so it's nice to see him. It's nice to see him, but when it comes to, if Toby had rang me up and said, who can we say that would get us down there?
Yeah. Go on.
Samuel Hung would have probably really generated that feeling.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's an interesting one. Yeah. Does he do?
Again, a couple of years ago, I'm with James Bennett, and we're at the Samuel's down. And I've gone, Samo. He's walking. He's come over, and I'm saying he remembered me from when we interviewed him, and I showed him the book, and I saw you, and with Pinkham stood by him, and Joyce Cadenzi, and I thought, where's my camera? And I'm too busy holding the book. You know what I mean? So for that moment, I was like that, Samo. Even though I'd met the guy, you know what I mean, and spent some time. But it was like Samo. So I do have those palpitations, and Jackie is still mine up here for me. He's the ultimate Jackie, to Bruce Lee.
I know. Well, there you go. Okay, look, I've got a question. I will move on to the main subject, but I've got one more question, please. I want to know, because you've met quite a few people, who haven't you met? Who's the number one that you haven't met that you'd like to meet? Who slipped through the net so far?
Nobody.
Love it. Love the answer.
I don't think so. One of the most interesting ones was meeting Wilson Tong with Toby.
Yes.
And
so you've done that one. That's been done.
Yeah. Wilson Tong. That was an interesting one. I've met Samo. I've met Yun. I've met Wang Long Wei. I've met
Wang Long Wei. The brilliant. Right. No more different episode. No more. We need to speak about this on another one, right? So, Kung Fu Café. My very first question to you is, we're chatting about this because on Sunday, the 1st of June, which is this Sunday, you've got a Kung Fu Café. But before we even talk about that one, I'd like to know, how did Kung Fu Café come about? Because this is not a new thing for you. So, how did it come about initially?
Actually, I'm going to give credit to Toby on this one. I for many years, which people didn't know, when I sort of went off the scene a bit, from 2001, I had a stall at the computer fair there selling Kung Fu films. And it was just at the period when VHS was still there, but DVD were coming through. And I'd managed to get a replicator, and I started to do bootlegs of DVDs. And I used to stick the on-body on, and so then, and it was a good audience down there. I used to do, some weekends take $2,000. People go. So Toby said, when they said, I was selling bits, down there on a Saturday and Sunday.
Yep. I remember that actually, because I did actually see you down there. So I actually remember that because a friend of mine loves computer stuff. And he said, I'm telling you now, because you used to come into H&V when I worked there. And this bloke I used to work with at H&V is one of my best mates. And he said to me, there's a bloke that used to come in H&V sometimes. I've seen him at Stratford Computer Fair. And I went, ooh. And he went, bloke with a beard. He used to come in with the Kung Fu's. And I came down and I saw you there. So I do know before Kung Fu Cafe that you were there. Yeah.
So we was doing that for some time, and then after the Olympics, it sort of killed the area a bit. You know what I mean? The business, the Westfields got built, and it stopped our traffic. So we were only working the Sunday, and I was with Toby, and Toby said, "Oh, maybe we should do a cafe here on a Saturday, cafe." And I said, "Yes, we could just do merchandise and just do it as an event." And so I said, "Yeah." So originally, Toby was my partner in it. We did it together, but Toby got busy. But I carried it on because it was a great way of bringing people together still. No money. You come down, have a cup of tea, have a hot dog at the stage, although we don't have the canteen anymore. But at the stage, they come down, we would do that. But people come by, and it was people getting together, like-minded people, the chatting. It was all just Kung Fu talk. People I hadn't seen for a while. And I just kept it going. Do you know what I mean? It sort of went disappearing in COVID, but I still think it's a great way. It's not an event. It's just people coming down. And then we started getting a few guests, we got Thorsten Nickel. I rang him up. I knew him from Thunderbolt. We got him to come down. I got Jean-Paul. He came in. Then we had Mark Houghton. Then we had Winston Ellis come down. I got my mate to come down who was the clown in Accident Man 2.
Right. A brilliant one. He was the clown in it. Brilliant. Love it.
He come down. I got
Vincent Lin.
Vincent Lin to come. I got Brett Ratner to come on the screen, didn't I? I got him to come on and talk.
Yeah, it's good, wasn't it? Yeah, Ratner on the screen was good. And he good chats.
And my mate is a stunt director, and I can't remember his name. And he come down. Rodney knows him. He lives in America. He did the action for Gangs of London 2 and stuff, and he was over here doing that film with Edward Fox. No, Edward Fox. Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx, yeah.
And Christian Diaz, Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz, yeah.
And he was there here working on that at Netflix. So he come round, and I'm just trying to think of it. I'll come back to it. But anyway, we've had quite a few people come down there. We did a screening of the Game of Death.
I didn't know you'd done stuff.
We had a recut edit of the last 30 minutes from Alan Campbell.
Excellent. Yeah.
And it's it's not just a guess, but it was quite a good meeting point. You know what I mean? Sunday afternoon. I think a lot of people live on Facebook, but you still need to go to events to really put the face to people, and you make new friends.
Definitely.
A lot of people that you speak to now, you probably would have known 5 years ago.
You're 100% true. It's right. I absolutely love it.
Doing what I've done all these years has brought a lot of people together, from the Scala days.
For sure. Yeah.
Doing the Chung's restaurant. People, like-minded people, you probably would never have spoken to, but you've got the same level of things. So a lot of people on there met new friends. That Kung Fu Café introduced a lot of people that didn't know each other. Yeah. And now they become like a little bit of a group.
Correct. What would you say is the first year of... When did you first do stall at Stratford, computer fair? When was that? Before Kung Fu Café? When was that? Did you start doing that?
2001.
2001. And what was the first, what would you call, official Kung Fu Café when you actually called it that?
It was just before the Grenfell Tower burning. So I think it's 2016.
2016, okay.
17, I think. It's 2017, I think.
Right. Bloody hell.
Because I remember picking Toby up from Queensway, and we have to drive past it over the Westfield overfly, and you can see this husk, and it's horrible.
Mm.
So it's been going for about 9 years.
Well, I'm glad it does. Now, what I've done here is I've I've got some stuff together for us to have a look at. Right.
Right. Yeah.
You know the way I roll, right? So
I know.
look, that's the first one I could find. You know, a bit primitive and all that, but it is what it is. And it doesn't. These ads. This is what I'm going to say to you, right? These ads for this Kung Fu Cafe, they ain't got the years on it. Now, I've put the year up there, 2018, because that's when it was posted. But start putting the years on it, because when we look back,
Yeah,
we need
yeah.
to
I
know
saw
the
as
year.
well. That photograph is actually from the Bruce Lee Museum in Hong Kong, and I saw that.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, and I thought I'm going to take it because I've never seen that before. And I thought, God, I could get $1,000 for that on eBay.
What
Yeah.
is it?
It's a
I know I
kite.
sent the dragon a
Kite.
kite. It's a
Yeah,
kite, is it? Yeah. I mean, it looks like a kite, but
it is
there's
a
such a thing as an enter dragon kite. I mean, what's
Yeah, but
that?
that was, again, you know what I mean? That's worth money. And look, it's not that, that's worth money to the collector. You know. I think Toby used to do the early adverts, for it, you know what I mean? He put together
Yeah.
some kung fu person on it, you know. But yeah, that's from Hong Kong. So yeah, 2018 is about right.
There you go. Yeah, 2018. These are all at Stratford. They've never moved. Here's another one. See, 2021. I banged the date on there.
Yeah, that's just the second issue of Eastern Heroes, so it was a good way to bring it in. And I think behind that picture is Jean Paul, the French Korean guy,
Yeah.
the French Vietnamese guy who did that a few good films. You know what I mean? He does a lot of stunt action work as well, and that was a good day.
Rodney told me there's a bloke who is a stunt double for Donnie Yen that's been there.
Really?
Yeah. Right, next. Anyway, this one was on November the 7th, 2021.
So there's probably some guy chatting to them and just gathering him a story. You know what I mean? Did he look like Donnie? I don't know. The nearest you could have is Jean Paul, who was there that day. I don't know if he doubled for Donnie at all.
Maybe that was him. Yeah. Oh, anyway, we'll find out.
2021.
So there you go. Look, come and join us. Regular get together, launching a new issue of Eastern Heroes edition number one. Why have I got number two and then number
That's
one?
the first issue ever.
What, this one?
That one at the back there with Dragon.
Okay. Okay, right, gotcha. Yeah. So there you go. There's another one, and then look, this one in 2022. This one you put Bruce on it. This one, 30th of Jan, merchandise sale, Kung Fu Cafe. And you said there used to be grub there, because I've never been there when there's actual grub.
Oh yeah, I
It's
used
still
to be on the counter doing hot dogs, chips as well. I'd serve on the store, run back round, bit like my 40 Towers. You know what I mean? 1 minute I'm doing
Yeah.
and then I say, you know, and so I'd serve people and food. You know, yeah.
Is the grub going to make a comeback though? I mean, why is the grub
Back
stopped?
from the cafeteria, they've stopped that. That's the kids' area. That's why we had to move into the room. We don't have that facility. They've just stopped it. Shame.
It is a shame. Yeah. There you go. Here's another one.
Yeah, that'd be like 22. Yeah, that'd be right. Yeah.
2022. I'll put the dates on there. Yeah, there you go. All right, another one. Look at this one. This is a good one. You put cut off heads and put stuck on heads on there.
Yeah. That's a Christmas one, and we're just bringing some rubbish for people to buy.
It's brilliant. Why is it Ron's cat box and not Rick's cat box? Why is it say Ron's?
Ron used to bring some like 50 pound stuff. He was getting rid of. I mean, and put it on the table like a Poundland. So I said, "Look, what tat you bought today, Ron?" You know what I mean? So that was an ingoing private joke between me and him. You know, tat.
I like the sound of his stuff. If it's only £1, that's good. So 2022, and then we've got another one here. 2023. I've got two posters, I think, for this one, and we see here that there's a little theme going on. You start to include pictures of the people that were at the events and photographs and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. If you go back, that's the guy. If you go back one, that's the stuntman guy. That's Vlad. He's an American stuntman. He come over and did a talk. Vlad Ringberg.
This bloke with this bloke.
Yeah. It was a big.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Vlad. Yeah, there you go. So you've got pictures of the guests, pictures of the people that are coming, pictures of Kung bloke. So we're starting to see it progress here. And look, there you go. You've got Charlene up there.
And if you
And
notice, you're like second generation. This is the first generation of people.
correct.
We don't see none of Steve here in
No,
this.
it's true. You know, you're right. I didn't know about it for ages because I'm so not an online bloke.
Yeah,
Obviously, I am more now, and
yeah.
I've got Rodney and Tarek that tell me about everything. But before that, I didn't know anything about it. You know, I found out about this quite
Yeah,
late. Yeah, but this,
I used the same publicity team that Jackie used for the London event.
for the Karate Kids Legends, yeah, exactly the same stealth version, secret ninja meths.
They, and they're regular faces. Look, if you go along there, you've got, I can never pronounce his name. He's the deaf guy from Germany. He used
Yeah,
to, you got
I know
Darmish
the bloke.
in the
Yeah, he's
corner, Hammer Horror. You got
Hammer
Rodney,
horror bloke. Darren
Terry,
in front of him.
Simon,
Selway.
John. That looks
Oh
like
yeah,
at the back there. John at the very back, just masking. You can only just see his,
I can see it. Yeah, with the beanie. There's the
you know,
Brennan. Yeah.
Man, Vincent, Simon at the Simon Gardner, Ron just poking his head through,
Yeah, I
Winston
can see
Ellis
him.
there.
Is that Winston Ellis there? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the tall bloke right at the back with his arms in the air? It looks like the Jake on film bloke. Is it him? Might be, you know.
It might be.
Looks
He
like
did
him.
come to a couple.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. And Charlene and Ben up here on the left in the top corner. So it must have been the Mark Horton one, right? The Mark Houghton one. Right? Yeah.
That's Winston on the here and sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
This is the one where we dissed, and then some. I'll give no names. When we did oh Christ, what's his name? Who's the guy from Tiger on the Beat 2? What's his name?
Yeah, Conan Lee.
Conan Lee, yeah. So we're dissing him, and that ends up on YouTube, and Conan Lee does a reply to it.
I know, I've seen it. He has a dig at Gardner doing the filming. He has a dig at him. Look at this bloke, unprofessional and all that. I mean, it's a real. I mean, he actually does a whole vid.
Look at this photograph and think, who's the person? Who's the one who decided to try to drop us in it? You know what I mean? The person who did it, I don't think's in that picture.
He ain't, and I think I know who it is as well.
Saying the truth, I mean, Conan, is a bit of a fantasist. He's a good martial artist, etc. And on that one, but he wanted me to interview him, and he said he's going to make the best kung fu film in the world, and the poster's him and his mum, and I said that's not a winner, you know.
Right, listen.
Don't
tar me with this brush. Right, we don't want to drag this one up again. Although I
worked with him, Mark knows him. It's just like we're just saying, he's going to build this studio, have 35 films coming out, and we just, and then I couldn't believe Conan replied back to it, and then you was out there and you was with him at the Urban Action Showcase.
I ain't been. Urban Showcase ain't in this country. I don't get on aeroplanes.
Who was you? I thought you was talking. I saw Conan Lee was at the Urban Action Showcase.
Well, I tell you, I'd like to meet Conan Lee.
God, I was going to find it. I'm sure there's a picture you and Conan. Someone. I thought there it is. That's his snitch.
No, see, you're wrong. You see, you've misjudged me there, and that's good that you've brought that up because now I can defend myself and say I've never met Conan Lee and I've never been to Urban Action Showcase, but I'd like to meet him. But the chances of me meeting him now I'm chatting to you is probably zero.
I've just fucked it up for you, mate. In fact, with most people, mate, I've just tarred you. You're associated.
That's all right.
We
go back, mate. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm sure I saw something. I thought you was at Urban Action Showcase. I saw some pictures. There's a guy out there that's just like you, that's masquerading as Steve.
Is he the food for thought bloke? Sean, he looks like me a bit. He's American though. No, he's actually from Wales, but he's lived in America for 20 years. It might be him.
I'm going to go searching for that photograph.
I'm sure it'll be him because I haven't released it yet, but I've had him on here and we look the same.
Yeah, Conan was there at some event. For some reason I thought, Steve, they're just talking, they're just plotting.
No.
That Baker's. Here's the 100 quid for giving me that info.
What about the vid though? So someone vidded Mark, Winston, you chatting about all this stuff, and like you say, it ended up on YouTube. We've got our theories, haven't we, of who put that out there and calls the problem the ruckus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
Keep your
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
Close. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer, mate. I know.
Right.
I know who done it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could destroy him right now on here. He knows when he watches this, he will be watching it.
He,
I know.
I think he would. I think he will. Yeah. I think he does watch them. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, let's not cause any more trouble.
I'll see you at
Right,
the Kung Fu Café. I'll see you at the Kung Fu Café Sunday.
Yeah, we can do the little, the little wink at each other to go, that's the one.
Yeah.
Here's the next poster. We've got Selway's in it again. Look, it's the same shot. And this is the one with a book signing.
Yeah.
Where this was good. I
That's
was
good.
at this one. It was good. This is where you had him on the Zoom call, Ratner.
This would be last year, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Good that. Very enjoyable. And then now we're on to the new one. I've got 2 ads for this. I've got this one, and then I've got this one. So I've got 2 ads for this.
The new one I did today, just to give more presence to Toby. And I thought I'd put a few of the, I've got Peter Pedro there. You got Karen at the top there. You got Vincent. You got Ron. You got Raymond Farrell. Who's Saturday night. I'm going to put him up here. Raymond was one of the biggest followers of this back in the day. He's been a bit quiet and said, you've got to come in for Toby. He's flying in from Ireland, and I'm going to drive him up to the Kung Fu Café. Hopefully, while he's here, I will lock him in the storeroom and say, just have a little bit of a trolley dash. Leave your credit card by the thing. I've got a machine.
Well, I should have known that was coming.
Raymond, if you watch this, you think I'm putting you up because I'm being a nice guy. I'm putting you up because I think you'll want to start buying stuff, and that'll cover me petrol to London.
Exactly. He needs to start donating. You know what I mean? But I've never met him, so I'd like to meet Raymond.
Here we go. I even put a shot on with you in for this thing. You know what I mean? Like I picked a few people. I put you in. I don't know what happened to Gary on that shot. He's probably taking the photo.
He might be taking a photo, but the nice thing about that photo for me is my mum and dad is in it. So
that's why I did it. Are they coming up this Friday? Are they coming up this Sunday?
I think so. Yeah. Hopefully they are. Yeah.
I put that in there. I thought let's give face to a few people.
I appreciate that, man.
The new group.
Yeah, yeah. It's rare that I get called that. New group, and look how old and rotten I look, and I'm new.
That's weird. That one there was good. Look, the Football Food Factory.
That's right. Good. Yeah. Wicked. So look, tell me about this event. Then this is this Sunday. Tell me whatever you want to tell me about it. It's a Kung Fu Cafe with a difference.
Toby comes down, but Toby's a little bit more. He's very busy, so he's doing his own thing. And then we were talking about 6 weeks ago. He told me because I recently did. Paul, I like this. I recently did a documentary on Jackie Chan film deal, and nobody knows about that for a company.
That's no surprise, mate.
That's brand new news.
Brand new news. We've got breaking news.
Yeah.
You've been involved in a Chan documentary that was filmed here.
Yeah, which I was sworn to secrecy to.
Oh, well, so this is BBFC. Am I censoring this bit out or what?
No, it's okay. I'm not giving any
all right,
bad.
we'll leave it in for Dre, innit? Yeah.
But
more wind-ups for him.
Jackie in my house.
Yeah, maybe that'll be enough for him because he'll go, well, he was in Wales, it's close enough.
No,
it might be enough.
And I said to Jackie, just as a joke when he come in, just say, hello, Paul. Hi, Paul.
He would like that. I'd like that as well, actually. Maybe you should do that next time.
Yeah,
that's interesting. We're not here to chat about that, but
we'll Steve, just do Paul.
We can chat about that later, though, can't we?
That's just a joke. I did do a documentary with Chalmers now.
Okay, all right.
So Toby said to me last year, there's a Taiwan film, some people from Taiwan, they're doing a documentary, and there's a few people I want to put in it. They want to fly over here and talk to me. And so they'll come down to Wales because he wants to go to see the Port Marion where they've got the prisoner set. He also wants to see where they do the Mac Loop through the mountains. So it was all planned last year to come. It was going to be filming last year, and it was just going to be here. And then Toby said that they wanted to sort of get more fans involved. You know, people, the nutters, the real, you know what I mean? Some of the real ones, you know, your real hardcore fans, you know. And so Toby said I said to him, well, you know, why don't we do, they'd like to film it because, as Toby says, we're probably the greatest fans in the world of Kung Fu films.
I'll bring some of the Karate Kid Legends ones with me, mate, from the other day.
America's good, but I think we've got the best fans here.
Definitely passionate. They definitely love it. Yeah.
And so he said to me, and we looked at a few things. One of them, we was going to do the Chinese Community Center. Did you ever come to the Chinese Community Center when we did those ones?
I don't think so. I've done the Polish Center with Chang, but
Crystal Fist Uncut.
Missed it. Haven't seen it. Didn't know about it.
That's why Paul Dre went above you. I said, you know, Steve's
No, because we're talking about Crystal Fist now. So he don't go above on Crystal Fist. Was he at the Crystal Fist? No. You know why he weren't at the Crystal Fist? Because it ain't Chan. I would have gone if I knew about it.
So
there.
We did a couple of screens, and Toby got this short documentary he made, and he's talking to the 4 Venoms, not the one who's died, the 4 of them. And we
is that the one that was shown? You guys showed that in the cinema once. I watched it.
In the where?
It was you played that before in the cinema. It was Lou Feng on a water pipe and all that. I've seen the Toby Venom thing. It was at Birmingham or somewhere like that. You two screened it at a cinema in Birmingham, I think it was. I've seen it. It's got Lou Feng on a pipe, right, with water, blowing water. I've seen it. Yes, he has. It's got Lou Feng in it, and he's smoking like some pipe, like a shisha pipe thing.
It's called the drug version. No, anyway, listen. So we did that, and then we was promoting. Steve Kerridge had done a Bruce Lee book, so we did that. We did a couple in Chinatown, and Toby was saying, I'd like to do a couple of events, you know, so they can film the store, people buying, talk to some of the people to add to it. I said, that's great.
Good idea.
Short notice to do the Chinatown one, because I was going to say, show the Shaw Brothers documentary. I said, well, I'll do a Kung Fu Café around it. You come, we'll set some merch up, and we'll pick people out to go in front of the camera. They can chat to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pick the right people that can talk, you know, that can be interesting. So that was it. So I decided to do this Kung Fu Café. I think there'll be a lot of people there, this one, TV camera. You might be on the documentary, you know what I mean? And you'll be immortalized. Plus, Toby,
I didn't know that.
No other human being in this world, I don't care who they say, I've known Toby 30 years. And there's nobody out there that can touch him for knowledge.
What about Dre on Chan?
That's what you're doing. I don't care what you've done. This guy's lived, speaks it, been on every film set. He knows stuff. He's even shot Jackie. You know, so
he's above Dre.
Nobody used
Is that what we're saying?
Eh?
Is he above Dre then? Dre, he's above.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. Well, I'm just checking. I need to know.
Yeah. At the moment, it goes Toby, Dre, and then there's a newbie, Gareth, who's sort of coming in as Paul Dre's protege.
Yeah, Gareth Smith. That's right. Nice lad.
Competition going on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know. Yes. Double eBay buyer.
I've got this, and you got this. You know what I mean? He sold his house, bought under my house once, and did $1,000 in cold blood. I respect him for that.
What did he do? $1,000 in what?
Cold blood buying stuff in my house. You know, the Jackie stuff I had. But Toby will kill them again, because last time I saw Paul was buying some stuff from me. Toby walks in the door with a plastic bag, and Paul knows there's rare Jackies in there. He walks away from me. Toby's pulled out some stuff. Paul's come back to me and said, sorry, Rick, I've done my money. I can buy this stuff off you later. Toby, I looked at Toby and said, you just killed me, mate. I should buy you. Watch this week. This week, Toby will come again. He'll bring something out the bag that will make Paul or the real buyers think, Christ Almighty, you know.
Oh,
So
all
Toby,
right.
so that's it. So yeah, but Toby, what most people know is he doesn't do the audio commentaries. There's nobody out there across the board, not just with Jackie, Bruce as
Oh, I
well.
know. Yeah.
Anybody.
Mm.
He is beyond anybody out there. And nobody ever calls him to do the. You've not had him on air yet, have you?
I haven't, but he has agreed it, so that's good.
I
We
spoke
got
to
there.
him this morning. I wanted him to come on tonight.
I did send him a message saying Rick's coming on, so you're welcome if you're around. If not, come on later. Whatever.
He won't do one, does he? Because if they're just like two tigers on a mountain fighting, we'd be clashing. You would get in. You'd be reserving. It'd be me and him battling with stories.
Well, that's all right. That's good. It'll shut me up for once. I would actually keep quiet. I go, look, I don't need to say nothing. Let's just keep quiet. Yeah.
Toby's a great guy. You know what I mean? And he's
the best, man. He's wicked. Yeah.
And without him, I wouldn't be here now. He really took me and used his knowledge, and we went to Hong Kong, and he could chat. He knew everybody. This documentary show it. You know what I mean? He knew everybody. When we used to go and do meetings, Toby would be quiet because he'd be listening to them speaking in Cantonese, and then he'd be whispering to me what they were saying. So I was heads up. You know what I mean? So really,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah,
you found out what they really thought of you because Toby translated. Yeah.
We had a meeting once. We'd been there for like 8 hours, and the guys wanted to go in for their dinner, and then they said, "Just give it him. Just give him the film."
I'm hungry. Yeah.
This guy just took his coat off and put it on the back of the chair. He's in for the evening.
Just let him have it. I need to go and have my grub. Yeah, brilliant. Love it.
Watching Toby saying they're going to break.
Do you remember what the film was?
The only person who Toby will tell you that got 2 films for free in Hong Kong. I got Doctor Way and The Adventurers and The Allowed given to me. Rather pay
you
the money.
You mean to screen the rights or whatever?
The rights for 3 years.
Yeah. Yes, lovely.
$1 million man, yeah. So me and Toby were the first person to buy the Jet Lis, the 3 Shaolin temples. But anyway, this is about this week. It's going to be great. When you hoping to have this put upon so people can be aware and maybe turn up on the Sunday?
I mean, I think I should be able to put it out tomorrow. I'm not going to mess about too much with editing and stuff because I know it's important. And I know we're
job. Don't lose the quality, Steve. Don't go down that path. You'll start losing your audience. Because Toby rates this. This. He told me this morning, so I rate Steve's YouTube channel because he said he's real.
You know what? All right. Well, it means a lot. It does.
I go tonight. He goes, oh yeah, because I like that podcast. And I said, now Toby Toby with too much to have me and Toby on, with just too much coming at you. You just need one at a time.
Yeah, it would be powerful.
No, so I really like that podcast. He said I really rate it. And I think it's just because he knows you've come from the days when we were there. So it's not like a lot of people out there that are they think they've been in it for 10 years. Wait till you've been in it for nearly 50.
Yeah, I mean, we don't look like that. I mean, you know what I mean? It doesn't look like it's been that long.
I'm 65.
You don't look it, but then again, it is quite dark in there.
Yeah, I've got the, I've got AI, mate. AI.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. People cheat these days. They've got all the AI and all.
AI.
Yeah, so I reckon I'll get this out pretty quick. Look, it's going to jump the queue. There's a queue, right? And I normally do the queue, right? And people say, "Where's my podcast?" And I say, "No, you can't, mate. It's not yet. This one's got to jump the queue because there's an event going on, so I have to bring it out. So it'll be out this week."
Then, are you going to film it this weekend and go back and do? We should do one this weekend with everybody there.
Yes, well, if you'll allow that, then yes, please. I'd love to do footage. So
we'll give you Chinatown rights.
Hey, brilliant. Thanks. So you're so hungry, you've given it to me for nothing.
The day, make an interesting thing. You know what I mean? You should capture the
100%. Yeah.
You'll
yes, please. I know that'd be great, mate. I've done photo montage before, and where I've taken photos and videos, and I've.
Well,
I'll put a link up to that.
With you, it's a different thing. You start from the tube station We get like a starter, then a bit of then the main meal, and it's wrapped up with like a dessert. You know what I
So
mean?
you know then, yeah. You
So
know.
we'll start off. The alarm will go, be like Wheels on Meals. You and Gary will look at each other. You'll get up, do a few shapes, go out of it. You know what I mean?
You know what? I've never done it right from the alarm, but you know what? That's a brilliant one.
You see your hand go down, knock the top, and then you go right, and then you just you get your clothes on. However, Jackie will put them on.
What a brilliant idea! What a brilliant idea! The alarm going
But
off.
what
Bam,
I'd
ba-da-da-da.
that, I'd have you with your, like a nightcap on and a thing, and say, "Well, this is it. I'm going to bed early tonight. It's the big day tomorrow.
Yes, mate.
So I'm going to get my head down, but we'll see you in the morning." Then you go, that's it. This is it.
Yes.
Well, get ready. I want to give you the full experience of what it's like getting up on a Sunday, and we're going off, and we're going to follow us through, and the build up and because and that's the way I'd do it. I'd have it like, you know what I mean.
Love it. The good thing is now at this age, there's certain things that don't get up with me anymore, so I ain't gonna have to worry about that getting in shot. You know what I mean? I think you know what I'm talking about.
No, mate, when I wake up in the morning, mate, they think there's
still going
campsite.
What's
that Fort Birth tent doing on Rick's bed?
Bloody hell! It's still going, is it? You must be on the blueies and all that, then, no?
Absolutely not, mate. Absolutely not.
Natural testosterone version. Brilliant. All right. Whoa, that's the Kung, isn't it?
I think it's just like a last fling before it all goes. You know what I mean? Just like just a thing. But anyway, I'll start the journey. You could do a great one. You could have you like in bed. Well, that's it. This is it. This is where it all starts. Countdown goes.
Fantastic.
I'd have a clock in the thing. Hit the alarm and say, right, here we go. And this is it. This is the journey, the pilgrimage to the Kung Fu Café. We're going to be seeing Toby. There's a camera crew there. There's going to be lots of people there. They'll probably never be in that room again together.
This is the good thing about it. Yeah, I agree. It's brilliant.
There's going to be also, but no matter who they are, we're all there, and we all got one thing in common, and that unites us. No matter what the religion, what color, what anything, there's no animosity. We all like the kung fu films, and so we're going to be it's going to be good. Nathan's going.
Brilliant. Yeah, Nathan, lovely, like that. Yeah, he's got to come from a long way, so that's good that he's going.
Yeah.
You're right though. It is such a nice atmosphere, these people, because like you said, don't matter. You've got that one thing in common. And that seems to be
all prejudice, all stuff is put to one side. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Even when we did them at the Scala, wherever we did them,
brilliant.
We didn't need security. People were there. You know what I mean? I used to have some very heavy yardies come to my store when I was at Stratford Computer Fair. They'd say to me, "Put my number in my phone, so I can call you, see what's coming in this week." And the phone would be like a gun with blood. With £50 notes with blood over them, and I think, Christ, who am I dealing with here?
Hey.
But for me, I was like a crack dealer. Those films, they loved their films. These guys loved their films, and
they do.
So I was protected like a wall around these because I was their dealer. Coming in, what you got for us, Rick? Outside, they're probably battering somebody, and doing their stuff. But inside, very polite. And I put some Kung Fu diffused. It broke down all barriers.
Correct. It's the best. Now, look, some people won't know what this Kung Fu Cafe is, and that's why we're doing this. We're chatting about it now. I took the liberty of adding some pictures from some of the events to go through. I'm not going to spend ages on it, but I just thought I would show people what it's like, and I tried to go from as old as I could find.
Yeah, I believe Giles is making a rare appearance.
He is rare, yeah. I mean, I have met him a couple of times, but he's quite rare.
That's Jason. He used to do stuff with Chris back in the day. He's a big Kung fan, big beardy fan.
Right. Yeah. I don't know him. So yeah, see, and if he
old
goes,
school,
it'd be good.
proper old
Yeah,
school.
it'd be brilliant to meet him. Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
think he'll be there. Don't think he'll be there because he's got a comic shop now down in Romford. But he's a big. Toby sorted out when he went for his birthday as a surprise. He went on comedy.
Yeah.
We arranged for Beardy to turn up at a cafe without him knowing to say happy birthday to him, and he was fucking like, "What? Couldn't believe
Hey,
it." We organised.
brilliant. That's good. That is good of you, mate. You see,
He loved Beardy. Listen, he was to Beardy like Paul Dre is to Jackie.
okay, and look
And we
what
saw
you did. Look what you did for him, though, right? You made his dreams come true. All Chan had to do was walk 2 meters to his left and come out that door, and he would have done made all our dreams come true. But he chose to not stay. He chose to stay behind the glass. But you got Beardy out for this guy. What's his name? Chris? Did you say?
His name is Jason Rutland.
Jason. Okay, I might have to visit his comic shop if that's the way I'm going to get to meet him.
There you lot are out there, and there's Jackie, and around the other side of this, the camera comes through the glass and pans around. I'm behind the curtain going, Jackie, don't just wave and don't do anything. Don't go.
So you did give Ratner a call. So you did know.
If you look closely at that thing, you'll see you'll see like a side of the curtain of me.
All right. Yeah, all right. I'll have to zoom in. We'll see.
You'll just go like that with my hand.
Brilliant. Nasty. You see, because you know what it means. You know, Dre might watch this, and if he watches it, he's going to hear that, and he might take it serious.
He will watch it. He'll be there Sunday.
Yeah. Right. There you go. Look, we've got Peter Pedro, and is that
Peter's coming down? Brendan's coming. Rodney will be there.
Brilliant. Yeah.
He's a big cungy. He is. There's a big. Loves his bits. Get his name there.
So that's another, an older one. Was there still grub there? I don't know. It looks like there might be.
Yeah. Go back.
Is there grub there? Is there?
They're serving around the canteen there. That's it there.
Yeah, I'd like that to come back.
Terry. Forget his name. Brandon's always there, isn't he? Brandon with a beer.
Yeah.
Peter.
Yeah, Brendan, old Duffy, he'll be there. Yeah, hopefully he'll be there. He's brilliant. Right. Okay. Well,
Tim Hollingsworth.
Yes, Tim.
Tim, yeah,
he does all your designing for the mags and all that, doesn't he?
Yeah. Tim.
Yeah,
Nick,
brilliant bloke.
Nick Singh. Another competitor for Jackie. Another big Jackie.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Nick Singh is. He is. Sure. I'll try and get him down.
He ain't coming. No, told me. But if I look there, who's that there with like a shaved prodigal son head?
Well, we don't. Well, we're not discussing that, are we?
There's the prodigal son, mate.
It is, yeah. So we've got Conan and Charlene and Brennan in the back there. Look.
I just said, who's that with the prodigal son?
Oh, I thought you were talking about
prodigal son haircut. That's Brennan.
Yeah, but there's two. He ain't the only one with a prodigal son, is he? There's another one towards the front.
Okay,
there's a few prodigals in there, isn't there? Right. Yeah, right. So we got the shots. Look, Ben, Hammer Horror Bloke. Selway.
And Andrew D'Souza, another big one. Hammer Horror. I've seen him for a while.
D'Souza, yeah. Hammer Bloke.
He does a podcast. He's been on it yet. Rodney's been on a few times.
Darren, and Clive. That's right. I've been on that once. Yeah, it was good. They're good laugh.
Darmish, I'm sure he'll show up.
Yeah, Darmish. Yeah, lovely fella.
Simon,
yeah, brilliant. Pritchard on the right. Vincent Lin. Yeah, big famous bloke there. And we mentioned all the Kung blokes. There's Vincent Lin there as well. Been in some Chan films, don't you know? And that I like that shot. That is actually from Simon Pritchard.
Yes, Kev. He's coming. Kev never has a phone. Don't use a phone. He has to write by a letter. He's coming. That's Kev.
Which one's Kev?
Him there. He's carries a bag. It's got Rare Bruce in it.
Okay.
He wears a cap.
This bloke.
He has like a cap on. He always has shorts on. You've met him.
But that's a good shot of the room. But you're saying that you ain't got this.
I've seen that shot before.
There's a brilliant shot.
There's Carl Fox. That's Andrew Staten.
Remember that's right. He sells stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah, he used to do MAI. He used to do the column with Greg, and he did the Brucey stuff at the back of the day. There's Ron. Not sure that is
an Ivy bloke. Yeah, brilliant.
That's Lee. That's Giles. That's Brendan there.
Good, isn't it?
Armin is a hardened Kung Fu fan. There's Brendan.
Oh yeah, proper.
There's Brendan, and there's Tim.
What are we saying? So, are you saying now that you don't have this room anymore? It's in the other bit.
It was where we were last time, but we've got more space this time.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, because the last time it was sort of dumped on you, so you didn't know, so you just made the best of it. Now you know you ain't got this room. You've made the other bit a bit more, you know.
Yeah, just got to what we got. I'm afraid, you know.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's it. They are turning up in the Kung t-shirts and all that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, was you there? Was this pre Steve again?
I think it might be still. Yeah, I don't think I'm here yet. Yeah, so let's get to the real one. Yeah, there we are. I'm in now.
yeah. There you go. What's going on there?
Natural shot.
Karen's haircut. That looks like Karen. There you are. There. What's this? Was this for the signing?
It was the book signing one, I believe.
Never
yeah.
Smiled.
And
No.
It was one before the book signing.
Okay.
There's one before. What about Selway's Kung suit there with the dragons on it? That's cool, isn't it?
Thinks he's Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator. I don't know. It looks like you're getting a bit aggressive there, Steve. Look at all these people, very calm. You're having a go.
Well, who do you think I'm pointing at? Who's next to Karen? You know, it's going to be you, isn't it? Yeah.
It's me.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a nice picture.
That's it. This is what I'm trying to let people know that, you know,
Steve
what
just photoshopped him in on that one, so I don't feel self-doubt. There was somebody else there before. You've just AI'd yourself in.
Yeah, of course we can do that these days, right? Why didn't I make myself look any better then? Real, that's why.
Oh, there's what do you call it?
Will.
Okay. Will.
Yeah. Yeah, Will. He says he's coming as well, so that's good. Brendan, Toby.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice shot.
Yes, mate. Exactly. See what I'm saying? Hey! There he is.
Look at John. That's proper prodigal. Come on.
Yeah, mate. Come on, Brendan.
You two relax. John's there like he's gone into a, no night.
Yeah, I know what's happened. He's got all tense fists and everything.
All right. Bad energy from you two.
Yeah, probably. He's always Kung, though, isn't he? That's the thing, yeah. There you go.
You just showed us that shot again.
Oh, sorry. All right. Bloody hell. I made a mistake. There's your mum and dad and Rodney, so I like that, obviously. That's brilliant.
Poppy just died last week.
Yeah. Right. Now, I only knew that because Tarek, I heard him telling Rodney, saying, oh, Poppy died or whatever. But I thought, I still got to put Poppy in because...
she was meant to be at the CAF this week, but didn't make it.
Anyway, there's a shot there of stall with Bruce books on, so they're selling stuff. I tried to put everything in. Now you see, I put this in on purpose because remember the Pritchard done the podcast where he anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I took that magazine with me so that I could have a picture with him because I enjoyed that going through the pictures.
Yeah, he's a bit early for him.
Well, it was just a bit of fun.
Yeah. He was quite upset, I think, because he wanted to make a better impression, and it just.
Listen, he shouldn't be upset. He made a nice impression. He's only had positive feedback from it.
It's good. He'll be there on Sunday. Don't worry. I'll stir it up.
I've got I shot 2 on the same day, and the second one's it's a rare version. I don't know if it's ever coming out because, anyway, right. Book signing, Brendan.
Yeah, Brendan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ken.
Yeah, that's it. Miller, brilliant. Now, him, I remember Ken Miller right from back at the Eastern Heroes Day. He always used to wear a jacket, long barnet, no tosh or glasses. But I remember him from back in the days.
Yeah.
Yes, wicked shot.
There, look at that. Lee, Karen, Simon. That's Ben Lewis, I think, isn't it? Ben.
He is there. He's been in some of the shots, Ben. Yeah.
But
it's just nice.
Usually with Mike Fury. There's Mike Fury. I can just tell on the side of his head. Ron, Ken,
That's
Brandon,
right,
your brother, John, Simon,
Yep.
Tim, Chris, Steve, Mum, Dad, Darmish, Tarek. Tarek's everywhere.
Yeah, I know, always. Yeah, managed to get down to Trafalgar Square and see Chan, didn't he? With a Dragons Forever t-shirt on.
There's
Seems
Ron.
like he had plenty of notice.
Yeah. Once
Joking.
again,
Joking, Tarek.
looks like you're having a row.
Oh yeah, of course, right? So look, I'm just showing you networking, having chats. Look,
Yeah.
Ron Ivy chats. Wicked classic Eastern Hero Selway shot with a jacket. My mum took that shot and I went, oh, what a wicked natural shot. Stance with a jacket. And then obviously I'm having chats with Selway there.
Selway.
That's it, mate. That's it. There you go. Brennan in the background.
Yeah.
Mates, isn't it? That's what I'm saying. We all connect. We all meet up and connect. Brennan's doing Kung again. We're all doing.
Once again, Brennan auditioning for Rebellious Son.
Yeah. There you go. That's the room. Use the sofa there. Look.
That's a very relaxed one, isn't it?
Yeah. Natural, isn't it? That's what we want. Natural shot. There we go. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Wicked. Holding up the book. Just signed it.
That's a good one.
Yeah? Another brilliant one.
I don't think I've got that photograph. They'll send it over to me.
Of course, mate. No problem. 100%. That's why I take all these. I made a big slideshow of all this, didn't I? So it's brilliant. There you go.
I've noticed now you're in every picture.
Yeah, because because I'm here now, right? I'm here. So not every picture. Oh, hang on. I am in every picture.
That's a triple bill.
Yeah, exactly. Right, Pedro, Nathan, and my mum. And look, and I put that in there because it's got some of your merch there. That's what I'm saying.
No, it looks like you're chatting with Toby.
Yeah, I'm chatting with Toby over there. We're talking about rare bits there. So yeah, the people
just by the jacket.
Yeah, Brendan. Yeah, cool Steve McQueen business. That's right. There you go.
Yeah.
Right, chatting, looking at the bits and the stall with selling. This is what I'm saying, people. You can come and buy stuff here. There's a box of celebrations there. I brought that with me. So that's what happens when I mean, Arcade Barry there, Peter. These are even newer than me. These blokes. Arcade Barry. That's one of Rodney's friends. Peter. He's a Kung bloke. Favorite film, Prodigal Son. Who's that? Oh, Pritchard and Evans eating grub. He'd had to go out and get that grub though. All right.
I'll tell you, he's coming on Sunday. He's put himself down. Alvin.
Alvin, yes. Yep. That's good if he's there. Yeah. There you go.
Look at that one. Toby looks like he's ill there.
Right. Well,
Poppy, there you go.
Respects Poppy. Nathan and his daughter Layla. So I don't know if he's coming on his own.
Is his daughter or his sister?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know.
I believe that's his sister.
Yeah, it's his daughter Layla. Yeah. So you're saying that Nathan looks very, very young. That's the compliment there. Or his daughter looks really old.
No, I'm sure he said to me, I want to buy a couple of, my sister wants to buy a couple of posters. That's the dialogue I had with him.
Did he? All right, okay. Well,
Could
that'll
be
get
wrong.
confirmed later.
Could be wrong.
Old classics reuniting. I mean, look, this is a good natural shot. I'm having a chat with Brennan. McQueen's in there with a leather jacket. That's the Southern Mantis bloke sitting next to Rodney.
Yeah,
does
always. You know,
he's always doing Kung.
Rodney calling Uber Eats.
Well, good, because there's no grub in there, so let's have it.
Right, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, look, you're doing the deals, the chats. Is that Crackit, is it?
Is that what, sorry? That's Crackit,
yeah. Crackit.
He's coming.
All right. That is a cool jacket, isn't it? You know what I liked? I liked that both of us that day, and I didn't say it to you at the day, but both of us that day had a full tracksuit on. A tracksuit. Not a tracksuit jacket, and not just the trousers. Both me and you had full tracksuit on. Brilliant.
Game of death.
Be done. I might pull that out again. Merch stall.
Merch stall.
That's going to be there again, right? All stuff to buy.
Of course.
Of course. Chats.
Who's this here?
Everything. Hey?
Who's this?
Selway, ain't it?
No, here. Sorry, you can't see my arrow, can you?
What are you pointing at?
The guy in the middle.
That's me again, isn't it? I'm in every shot, remember?
Is that you?
Yeah, look, because look, yeah, that's me. Yeah, I look in my full
Yeah,
tracksuit.
well, Christ, you look a bit different one. The hair looks like you know, the hair looks very dyed there. It looks like you've had a, you know, like the.
You know what? It's funny you should say that because somebody asked me the other day because they see this beard and see all the grey, and it was a woman, but she said to me, "Oh, Steve, do you dye your hair?" I was like, "No, I don't. I'm natural version everywhere, including sack." And she said, "It's just you got grey in your beard." I said, "All right, yeah, you're right. I still don't dye my hair, but there you go. You've said it.
Just a bit. Just
All
like
right." Right. Look what Selway is he doing Uber Eats now? Rodney's Uber Eats has arrived.
Yeah, look, he's there. Look, man, look at the Rodney, man. No, man, look at him. Come on, Rodney.
He's the best. The flipping best. They are. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what it's all about. Nathan, Peter, my dad. I can't keep it up too long. I'll do cries. There we go. We're grouping together now. Toby in the background.
What was
Nathan?
What was the do cries for?
Hey?
He said, "I can't keep it up. I'll do cries."
Well, because my dad's there, innit? My mum and dad are in the shot, so I get a bit emotional. You can understand.
All right.
You know what I mean? Look, Nathan's got his Jackie Chan stunt team T-shirt on. He got when he actually went to the action camp, so that's amazing.
Footballers do swap shirts.
Yeah, I don't think that one would fit me, but all right, I could try.
There
Arcade Barry, Baker Mag, Baker Merch.
I don't know this Arcade Gary at all.
Not Arcade Barry, yeah, he's brilliant.
Look, we've got what do you call it down here? He's a nice fella. Just the floor, I can't remember his name. Why can't the guy looking at the store with the black?
Is he the bloke who sits outside on the chairs by the entrance with Crackit?
No,
I think he does.
No.
All right. Well, we'll ask him when we see him. They are Pritchard doing Kung. You said he weren't real, but there you go. That's a good Christmas top there by Pedro, isn't it?
Yeah. John.
Deadpool. Yeah. Brennan's. See, now we're starting to group together. Selway with the classic shades on.
Yeah, thinks it's the Terminator.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hey, that's Kevin.
Oh, I see him. Yeah.
Right behind Pedro.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Right. So look, we're starting to do Kung now, and then you finished it with that. Eastern Heroes have got. What rares have you got?
That's a very odd because Toby did that flyer, so we're going back. That's pretty one of the first Kung Fu Café flyers. Because who else would put? What rares have you got?
I know, brilliant. But I think Jack Long definitely does say things like that. It's understandable why he used him. And then we're back to the original thing, which is...
a lot of people see these photographs. I know it's a long way, but, sometimes it's worth the journey. Back in the day, if you wanted to be a part of it, you had to travel, didn't you? That's the best picture ever. That's the best picture ever. Kung Fu Head Crusher, Bolo and Toby.
It's brilliant, isn't it? That is the best. But I agree with you. It's I do think it's worth it because
it's memories. This is memories because it's changed. Like I've grown through this through 35mm to VHS to VCD to we've been through it. But when you look back, and maybe in 10 years' time we'll look back and this is a good time. You know what I mean? But I look back and I think it's been one hell of a journey. To be, and I've done this now for 40 years.
Yeah.
Never thought I'd still be doing this today. Never was in the long-term plan. It's like I've gone into a soap opera and they've just kept me going, my character.
Yeah.
Well,
you've done well.
Great. It's great. You know what I mean? And what I'm thinking of doing now is I'm thinking of going onto the Facebook and saying I'm looking to do a Kung Fu Café in either Manchester or Leeds or Liverpool, which is nearer to me now, and take it up on the road. Like you was there for the Rise of the Dragon, weren't you? That Carl did.
Who did it? Who's Carl?
Carl Fox, who did the Rise of the Dragon last year.
Rise of the Dragon, that's right. Yeah, I went. Yeah, Carl, that's right. He did that documentary that they played there. That's right. Edited himself and all that. Yes, I was at that. Yeah.
Well,
because we had the stall there. Yeah, brilliant.
When we had that long shot, that was Carl there on the stall.
Yeah. in Leeds. Are you doing that again? Store? Are you having a stall there again? Do you think?
Probably, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
good.
I think I'll go to that again with my bro, and I think Nick Singh said he's going to this. Well, no, he is. Nick Singh's going to this one as well, so that'll be good because, like you said before, it's very, very different fans there, very different group of people, Bruce blokes.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
But look, this is the reason I'm grateful that you've kept this up is because I didn't really know about it, and now I do know about it. As long as I can, I'm going to go to every one of them.
It's brought you into a new group of people, hasn't it?
Yes, I love it. It's
I like what
brilliant.
is the community. I can forge some friendships that would never have happened. That's
True.
the beauty of this. It would never have happened, and that the Kung Fu Café has been responsible for making new friendships. I mean, I sort of like I'm here. I'm like the person who brings people together. They come to see me,
It's true.
and then chat afterwards, and some people click and they go and have something to eat, or let's go and see something, or let's go and so it is good at forming friendships.
It definitely is. Everyone's nice and friendly there. We've all got a common ground of the Kung. And I'm going to say, Rick, I appreciate you keeping it up because it was in jeopardy a bit when you moved because it's going to be a lot more difficult now. You've kept it at Stratford, but it can't be as easy, obviously, because you've got to travel a lot further, right?
Yeah, it is. It has to be very well planned. And like I said, that's why I'd like to do some a bit further up this way.
Makes sense.
You've got to go to a city. You can't just do one in Wales here. It'd be difficult. As much as I'd love to, but I don't know who would turn up for it. It's a long.
What about the bloke?
If I said I've got Jackie Chan in the village, I'd pack it out. You know what I mean? You can take Jackie anywhere. People will travel. But
Exactly. You can take him to.
Interesting, like I say, that Jackie thing, bit of excitement, bit of that. You know what I mean? You were there. You memorialised it. I do think that Jackie will come again.
Well, I hope so.
I just wish I'd have known. I could have then probably been a bit more involved in getting people to meet him.
No, I appreciate that, and it's so close.
But I'd took a few people and said, like this is, bring one still or something, and I'll get Jackie to sign it.
Yeah,
I would have done that. I mean, but I didn't know, and that's just the way it fell.
That's it. That's not.
At least you got within 5 meters of him, 15.
Yeah.
20.
Yeah, it's about 5 meters, I'd say. Yeah.
I would have shown me the back of the head shot. That's this. I saw Jackie's head, but you're telling me you got a full frontal.
I did get a full frontal. Yeah, he does this. He does this.
Yeah. Did you like that?
No, I was just vidding it. No, I didn't see what Dre was doing at the time, but I did it. Truthfully, it was only when I watched the vid afterwards, because when you're vidding it, you can't, you're just vidding it. It was only afterwards when I looked, I was like, oh, he actually did a, kiss and all. But he did it, his face, though, no joke, it looked like he felt bad for letting people down and not coming out. That's what it looked like. That's the face I saw, anyway.
I just think it was like a whirlwind thing. I don't think he did anything else while he was here. I think it was just the one show.
Yeah, we didn't do nothing while he was there either at the one show. Crap. The stupid interview. The people who was at home watching it on telly got more. No, but it weren't the same because we actually had him. Anyway, look, Kung Fu Café this Sunday. There is there's a reason. Is it Sunday? It is Sunday, not Saturday. Is it the 1st?
Okay.
And there's reasons for it. Kung community meeting up, having chats, and there's a documentary going on.
If you've been, you know what it's like. If you've been, then you know. Every time you go, different people. It's not always the same group of groups. Some people come, depending if they're working. I think this week, because there's a TV camera or there's a documentary, it attracts people more. I know Peter Pedro's going to come. Most of those people you see in those photographs will be there, But I think there'll be a few new faces there this time.
Yeah. Do you think the bloke who used to go and see you told me he rowed a boat to get to you? What about him?
I haven't seen him. No, you haven't seen him since.
Yeah, but the camera's out this time. So if the camera's out, it might get the oars out, as they say. No, you never know. Well, anyway.
I think it's the same guy when he used to speak to Toby, and he used to say, I told you his favorite character is Alexander Lou. He says Alexander Lou.
Oh, that's the bloke, yeah.
Yeah, boat. Yeah, got boat over. I mean, those stories are completely immortalized in the history of this, and like you say, there's a whole new group of people out there now. You know, with the '88, the shock, and that. But unless you've actually been to Hong Kong, unless you've actually been on the films, unless you've actually gone beyond the screen of a video and that, you don't you're not it's very two-dimensional. I think if you need to be out there, you know what I mean, meeting people, exchanging your stories. It's much more bonding. Facebook's great, but now you can meet some of the people you've spoke to on Facebook and you put a face to them, and sometimes you might think I don't like them, you know, like them on Facebook, but now I've met them, you know, you could have a bit of a, you know, nasty surprise. But if you
You never know. But I haven't had that yet. Everyone's been nice and
no,
polite.
listen, honestly, I've never seen any problems. You know what I mean? And even if there was somebody that I didn't really like, I wouldn't never say anything because it's just to keep the atmosphere. Especially if they're spending money, I'm gonna be, you know.
Well, look, there'll be plenty of things going on. Networking with fellow Kung fans, merchandise to buy on the stores. There's always loads of wicked merch.
You've got to do. We should all go to the Hong Kong Film Mart next in Hong Kong. You'd love that.
Amazing. Yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah, I'd love to do that. Yeah.
You know, you just put a small group of go like Rodney's been and that. Just go there, and then that's your podcast for 2026. You know, that's
it. Yeah, that's it.
That's the summer blockbuster.
That'd be brilliant. I definitely need to clear out. I'd have to get a camera for that though, because the phone wouldn't be able to handle it. The storage, it always runs out, doesn't it? Crap.
Take a couple of memory cards.
No, iPhone, you can't expand the memory, can you? Crap.
Can't you just cloud it somewhere? You just download it somewhere.
Yeah, but I don't do things like that, because then that means cloud. Like you said, look what you just said. Cloud it somewhere. Right? Well, where? Right. So I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing it. Sorry, no.
Take a hard drive and drop it onto the hard drive.
Yeah, obviously I have to do that, but it's not going to be enough. For Hong Kong trip, it needs to be, needs to be prepared. That'd be good. But listen, loads of merch to buy, loads of people to meet. There's camera crew down there doing documentary stuff. They want to chat to the fans.
The main thing is it's a good social afternoon out. Whether you've gone for the merch or whatever, you do go at home feeling a lot better, and you do look at it, and you do look at and you look at Facebook, and you can talk about that down the line. Oh, I went to this company, and this thing. But this time you've got a chance of actually featuring on a documentary.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Feature on a documentary. It's all up for grabs.
Who Toby's going to pick out to talk to the camera is up to him. Do you know what I mean? He's going to say. But
maybe they'll go around the room and they'll just get whatever footage.
His first choice is Brennan, mate.
Right. I mean, if he'll agree to it, but I mean, that'll be power, wouldn't it?
Hey, that's his choice, Brennan.
Do you think it will happen? We'll get one of the old classics back. Do you remember this comment? A lot of people do. In a very large nutshell.
Video magazine #1.
Of course, you know.
And there's the other one. Do you want to do some rhyme, John? I don't know. I'm above media.
There you go. So it'd be a good laugh. And to be fair, it's in Stratford, right? It's near central London. If you wanted to pop into central London, you can do that. Westfield.
When you get there, you come out the thing and you go down the steps. The actual event is on the other side of the track, so you've got to come out of the thing, go over the bridge. But there's parking around there too.
That is a good point. Yes, parking, and he's right. You come out of the station and you've got to get back over the track, so there's a bridge to cross over, and it's not far from there. Depending on the speed of you, let's say it's a 10-minute walk or whatever. It's not far, but also afterwards or before, if you want to get there early, there's Westfield Shopping Centre as well there as well. So, there's other things there if you so choose, if you're coming from far away, and you want to experience a bit of London as well. There you go. Won't be as good as the Kung, but you know what I mean.
Let's wrap this up so you can get this edited so we can go live tomorrow, and people can have a good laugh again.
You got it, mate. Brilliant. Thanks very much for doing that. I'll see you Sunday, and then obviously we've got plenty more of these that we need to do.
If I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through the window.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is this better than through glass?
Well, this is what I don't know. I mean, I'm just referring that to the Jackie. If I don't see you outside, I'll see you through the window.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know you were doing that. You were being nasty again, bringing that up again. The glass story. That's fair enough. That's all right. It's what it is.
I mean, I might. What I might do is for the next Eastern Era is get you to do an article about that day. I'll memorialise in the magazine with some photos.
All right. There's plenty of glass shots there.
Through the looking glass.
Through the looking glass. Yeah. Well, that's what I called the pod. I called it glass story because that's how they refer to police story. But anyway, whatever. That's just that's just a wind up. That's just a wind up. But it's funny anyway. Now I've had time to digest the information. And it is what it is. Like you say, better than nothing, I think. Anyway, thanks, Rick. I'd see you Sunday. I appreciate you coming on and giving me your time as usual. Brilliant.
That comes down as well.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. So as long as they're free, they'll definitely do it. So thanks for saying that as well. They love it. They've been to 2 of them now, and there's another thing I'll say. My mum and dad's been to 2 of them now, and they absolutely love it. So they love seeing their sons in their element, talking and chatting about the Kung, and the people are really nice and friendly to them as well.
My mum used to go to all the events. People
I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's the best, man. So bring everyone. Rick.
Okay. See you Sunday.
Yes, mate. Respect. See you Sunday. Yeah. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
See you later, mate.
See you in a bit, man. See you later.